Hello, welcome to Michelle Sews Again. I'm Michelle. It's Friday, so you know what that means. It's another hashtag Friday Sews kind of day in the middle of Vlogmas. So on Fridays during December, instead of a Vlogmas, I'm gonna continue to do Friday Sews. So hopefully that works for you. All right, so first of all, I would like to thank Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room for starting this hashtag. I highly encourage you to go and do a search on YouTube of Friday Sews. You can do either the words separated, you can do the hashtag, however you want. And the makers who participate in this hashtag will pop up and you'll have a bunch of people to watch. The format behind the hashtag is that we talk a little bit about what we've worked on for the past week, what we have coming up, and then a little bit about life. So if that sounds interesting to you, then hang on, let's get started. All right, so first of all, what did I work on this week? What have I made? I didn't make anything. What I worked on was rough cutting a couple of patterns. So as you know, I don't do a lot of big four because they don't tend to make things in my size. So I buy a lot of indie patterns and I get them printed through PDF plotting, which comes in big, huge, bigger than poster size pieces of paper. And what I store them in like a big basket rolled up with rubber bands around them until I'm ready to make them. And then when I'm ready to make them, I rough cut them first because those big pieces of paper are just too much for me to handle. And then I trace the pattern pieces out for the size that I want to wear or make. So what I did this week was I rough cut a couple of patterns just so that they were ready to go. And I'll get to one of them in a minute. That's really all I worked on this week, other than work is starting to pick up for me. I've been there a little over 2 months now, so I'm starting to get some projects that I own, which is really cool. I gotta tell you, I'm loving this new job. It's the best one I've had in a long, long, long time. This company, the culture is amazing. The people I work with are amazing. The business is strong. It just feels really good. Anyway, so I haven't had a lot of time to do much on top of work plus, start trying to get the house ready for moving. So like I said, I did the rough cuts and I didn't sew a darn thing, which I'm okay with. It's different. I don't know why. It's different when I didn't sew because I just didn't have time than when I didn't sew because I didn't have Sojo. For some reason that gets me down. But I haven't lost, I have my Sojo back. So I did, so in last week's Friday Sews, I asked you guys to vote on a woven top for me to make next. I didn't get a lot of votes, which is fine, but you got, the one thing that did win was my new Pattern Fantastique Fen shirt, which is great because that was high on my list of things I wanted to make soon. So the problem is I didn't get the pattern yet. So I ordered it from PDF plotting on either Thanksgiving Day or Black Friday. I can't quite remember which, but they were having a 20% off sale. So I had ordered all of the recent patterns that I picked up from various Black Friday sales, and the Fen was one of them. Well, they shipped it, they were closed Thanksgiving Day and Friday, so I don't think they even printed until Monday, but I did get a print and mailing a tracking number pretty quick after they reopened. I just haven't received it yet, so I haven't been able to cut that pattern out, but I have picked my fabric. So as soon as that pattern comes in, that will be next on the agenda. But I have had this fabric in my stash for quite some time. I picked it up. I will link in the cards here. I had a Zinck's haul last summer, and it's like an outlet fabric store outside of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and it was a really cool experience. I learned about it from Whitney from Tomcat Stitchery because she has a Zinck's near her where she lives, and there's only 2 locations, and the other one is in Lancaster, which wasn't that far from where I lived at the time. So my husband graciously, you know, we love to go on road trips and, you know, just go for a drive on a weekend. So he was gracious enough to haul me out there. Plus it's near this really humongous smorgasbord that he enjoys, so that worked out fine for him. Anyway, I did my Zinck's trip last summer, and I picked this fabric up, and I've had it in my stash ever since, really not knowing what I was gonna do with it. But how beautiful is that? It's on this like navy background. It's got these orange and blue flowers. There's some green in there. It's just beautiful fall colors. It's a rayon. I don't know the fabric I don't know the true fabric content, but it's definitely like a rayon type fabric. And it's just gorgeous. And I thought I would use this to make my fan. And I think that's gonna be really pretty. It'll make it nice and drapey. Because it's so oversized, I didn't wanna use something that was too stiff so that it like stuck out like a tent. So I think this will be a really good fabric for that. And so I'm going on my very first work trip next week. I have to go to the corporate office, which is based in Akron, Ohio. And I need some clothes to wear. And I think that this Fen shirt will be a really great option for the office. So I'm excited to make that. And hopefully my pattern comes in today or tomorrow so I can make that over the weekend. The second thing that I only have 2 things on my short-term agenda so that I don't get myself too overwhelmed. And the second thing, I was going through Trello because I really wanted to make something this week. I just didn't end up having time. And this is what I cut out. I rough cut this pattern during my weekly Zoom call with my sewing buddies on Tuesday night. And this is the Style Arc Emmy dress. It is a woven dress. It gives you the opportunity to color block or pattern mix. You don't have to, you know, if there's an opportunity, I'm gonna take it. And so the Emmy dress, it's just like a sheath dress, but it's almost like a balloon shape, I guess, because it kind of tapers at the hem. If I'm not mistaken, it's got 2 darts at the hem, which I think is an interesting detail. And it's just got like a basic crew neck, and I think the sleeves are grown on. What I do think I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna lengthen the sleeves to at least a half length because I am gonna be wearing this. Now, you'll look at the colors and think spring, but the fabrication, I think, will help me say that it's for fall. Anyway, all right, so these are my 2 fabrics. I've got this hot pink corduroy, which I bought this from fabric.com. And I wasn't paying attention to the whale. My goal, I had bought this and like a corally tangerine color, and my goal was for those to be the 2 corduroys that I was gonna use for this mystery jacket that I keep talking about. But they canceled the orange because they ran out of stock, and they sent me the pink, but it's a really fine whale, and you can see like it's got a lot of drape. So it's not what I was looking for my jacket, but it's still a really pretty fabric. So I was thinking I could use this for the top of the dress. And then I have this, it's a home deck fabric. It's from Waverly, but once I washed it, like it was kind of crispy before I washed it. Now that I've washed it, it just feels like a cotton, 100% cotton fabric. Now it does recommend dry cleaning, which I'm not gonna do. I washed and dried this and it came out fine. So, and it doesn't feel home deckish. It feels just like a regular cotton poplin maybe. Yeah, I mean, it almost feels like sheeting fabric. So I think the 2 of these together will look beautiful. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this on the top and this on the bottom, just because I think that will look better. I would like your opinion. I've never lined anything, but now that I'm saying all this out loud, I mean, it's not sheer, but just from a weight perspective, I don't know, what are your thoughts? Do you think I need to line the skirt part if the top is this corduroy? I don't know. I'd love your thoughts. So that's what I have on my short-term agenda, is the Fen shirt and the Emmy dress. I'm still waiting on all of my fabrics to arrive that I bought during Black Friday. And like I said, my PDF plotting order. That's all I have sewing wise. I'm having a lot of fun with Vlogmas. I know I'm only 2 days in, but I am enjoying the really quick snips in the morning. I'm doing like a 4 or 5 minute video to go along with it. It takes me like 10 minutes to edit it and upload it. So I'm getting those done in the morning before I get my work day started. I am kind of jealous of all these people that have all this like Christmassy music and intros and stuff, but maybe I'll do that next year, but this year it's just not gonna happen. As far as life goes, last weekend, so I think I told you about my Thanksgiving Day last week, because we had a nice day at Morton's and driving down the beach, and then my brother and his family came in town Thursday night. So we spent the whole day Friday and Saturday with them and really had a nice time. So they got an Airbnb up in Fort Lauderdale. Nope, not Fort Lauderdale. They got an Airbnb in Hollywood, and they were like a hop, skip, and a jump from the beach. Like literally, like they walked out their front door and down a little alleyway and they were right on the beach. So we went and spent the whole day Friday sitting on the beach, relaxing, playing like, I don't know, some kind of badminton thing with my nephew. It was just the most perfectly gorgeous weather day to sit on the beach. There was a light breeze, so it didn't get too hot. And we just sit and chit-chatted, and it was just so nice. I miss my brother. I miss my siblings, all of them, all the time. So that was a nice visit. And then Saturday, we actually went on a sailboat excursion, and we found this guy in Fort Lauderdale. It's our second time using him, and he's hysterical. I mean, he's just like, I can't even explain it. But anyway, so we went out, and it takes about an hour to get through the waterways to the ocean. And then we spent like half an hour out on the ocean before we had to come back in. But once you get to the ocean, then he turns the motor off and, you know, hoists the sails, and we just sail out in the ocean. And that's when he lets us drive. And so my nephew got to drive, and he did an amazing job. Like, he kept it straight going, and he's a natural sailor. Now we come by it honestly. My, I don't know, maybe 8 times great-grandfather in the 1600s was the first walker of our family lineage to come to the Americas, and he was a captain, and Captain Richard Walker, and he landed in the Boston area, and the first several of our generations were in the Boston area. So yeah, we come by sailing naturally, plus my grandfather owned a shipyard and built boats, so I think water stuff is just in our blood. Anyway, so that's all I got for you today. I hope wherever you are, the weather's amazing. I hope you're able to get some sewing in, and I will talk to you tomorrow for Vlogmas Day 4. Bye.